Hello, hello, hello! It's me, 09, and in this video we'll be reacting to I investigated the South America chaos, Angela Rose. This will be my second take to this reaction. I didn't really like my first one. I feel I feel like I was too much partisan and I did kinda talk somewhat inappropriate to this stuff, and I will when talking about this stuff, I will try to be more like careful to not say something inappropriate. Also, video was too long. I rambled pointlessly and I didn't really add much to it. So, okay, let's start the video.
Here in South Africa, white people are the minority, only making up 7.3% of the population. Donald Trump recently said this.
It's a genocide that's taking place that you people don't want to write about.
After that, the president of South Africa, as well as the United States legacy media, has been denying these claims.
If there was Afrikaner farmer genocide, I can bet you these three gentlemen would not be here.
Liar! I traveled across the world to hear for myself the untold stories of Afrikaners and white farmers in South Africa.
Trump is not misled
at all.
He's speaking the truth about South Africa. They can deny it as much as they want to deny it.
That they've now become cowards.
So in this video, we are going to understand what it is like to be white in South Africa, and let's understand what they are calling the reverse apartheid.
But what's happening here is worse than apartheid. It's a disgrace.
There's been robberies at our house. I've been attacked.
My own father nearly died under a farm attack.
They don't want to acknowledge that all these things are happening because then they have to take responsibility.
I had to take him to hospital with 25 stitches in my head.
Well,
The United States just opened up a refugee program for Afrikaners, and 70,000 people have already expressed interest. And since 1985, 600 to 800,000 people have left.
So we have one law on this farm. Do unto others that you would like to be done to yourself.
there's a lot of racial laws in South Africa against white people.
Black economic empowerment. They added a few B's to it as well.
But we have about 800,000 white people that are at the moment has got no work.
There's also this false narrative that if you don't like the government now, it means you want apartheid back.
Very important to get the people's dignity back.
They want to have land reform without compensation.
At the end of the day, it's not a Trump that's going to help us. It's Jesus Christ himself.
Now it's specifically directed against the white race, against people who look like us.
I think you Americans got problems.
Also, would you please make sure that you are subscribed to my channel? Let's go. Yeah, KFC. So you probably don't really come out like this much. Big intersection, the light's not working. Street lights, yeah. Oh, there's lots of blackouts, right?
Yes. Our generator is in for repair, but I saw on the schedule we should be okay.
And when the lights are out, do you treat it like a four-way?
This is the one shaking you down.
Yeah, these ones right here.
Checking, and then they start talking, and then they want money, or they tell you they want iPhone.
And are they armed?
Yes, and they're not afraid to exert excessive force. Every month it gets incrementally worse.
As soon as I arrived, I began an interview with an Afrikaner author and commentator, Dan Root. We're here in South Africa. What's the truth?
I think the truth is that, when you're talking about genocide, it's a sort of, well, define it in various ways, I think. And you know, there was that American expert, Gregory Stanton, who compiled, you know, the 10 stages of genocide, and it starts off with, say, hostility, and then it moves on to organization. I can't remember exactly each stage, but I mean, we are sort of at the stage now where there's a lot of hostility, say, from this political party, this extremist political party called the EFF, the Economic Freedom Fighters, that's an out-and-out kind of Marxist revolutionary.
To be honest, the model for stages of genocide isn't perfect. Because in many situations, you can really fast jump from one stage to the other. That not to say that this isn't happening to them. I don't know about situation that well, just what I heard here in the news. So if you don't believe this video or me, you can look for yourself if that is true or not.
Party headed by a man called Julius Malema, who goes around, you know, singing the song "Kill a Boer, Kill a Farmer" to these large crowds. So that's very concerning.
So these people, when you want to hit them hard, go after a white man.
We require no permission. Revolution demands that at some point there must be killing. Kill the poor, the farmer. Shoot to kill. Kamaza. Kill the poor, the farmer.
So quantitatively, okay, millions of people have not been killed in South Africa, at least not yet, but qualitatively, you know, we've had such extreme violence and torture and during these farm attacks, but in South Africa it's moved completely to the left, you know. So if you say we want equality for white people, that's considered a far right statement, you know. So the Overton window is completely to the kind of, if you say kill a Boer, kill a farmer,
that's like middle.
Yeah, that's kind of, that's sort of, that's acceptable kind of thing.
That's
according
crazy.
to Overton's principles, it's sort of mainstream. It's mainstream. Government.
To be fair, before I learned about the situation in South Africa, I for many years believed that in Africa there are only black Africans as native people. So yeah, these people are Afrikaners are people that colonized South Africa many years ago, and most of them were born there. Most of them that live here were born in here. So they don't really have any other home. Their language and culture is now very different from their parent country, and they don't see themselves the same. So it's not like they have place to go, just like other groups that were marginalized in their own lands.
A political party in parliament could say that.
Like stadiums of thousands of people.
Exactly. The highest court in the land, the constitutional court, has stated that is just freedom of speech. But if you use some sort of racial epithet, they would send you to prison for 3 years.
In this video, we had many insightful conversations. Some were very descriptive and long, so you can get the extended version by going to my Patreon. The link is in the description. Thank you so much to these Patreons for your support. Now let's get on with the video. The next morning, we headed out to the Voortrekker Monument located in Pretoria, South Africa. We are here at a monument that represents the Blood River. After they signed an agreement on the land, the Zulus told them that they were going to have a celebration, and during that celebration, they killed all of them, all of these women's husbands. It tells the story of a Voortrekker who negotiated a land treaty with the Zulu king. However, he then betrayed them and killed 100 of the Voortrekkers. We were also told that this story was so horrific that they had to tone down the images to be more PG. To me, this really sounds like it was a story of betrayal. This architecture is very beautiful. This is incredible. There's this huge circle here.
About Zulus, I'm not like expert on this, but as far as I know, the Zulus were very, very brutal to other tribes in Africa, and they would conquer a lot of places. This is their... If I remember correctly, Zulus aren't even native to South Africa. They came to there after the white people, Afrikaners. But that will be probably explained further in the video.
That is the ceiling from down below. It's just crazy that it's open like this. It's kind of scary. It's very impactful. So we just finished up here, and I just wanted to say that I personally find it pretty tragic that they tried to make it work. They tried to live together, and it just ended in a literal bloodbath.
What you can say?
One thing that they've been telling me is that complacency kills. And if someone is beginning to rob you and you're just like, okay, here, take all my stuff, and you just allow it to happen, then it's just going to escalate further.
Yeah, that's normal.
And what I believe that this monument really shows and really proves is that no group is 100% innocent. White people can be marginalized, persecuted, as well as killed in the masses. It is just so sad that there's this huge narrative that we're not allowed to talk about white people being persecuted. This is not a conspiracy theory like the media tries to make us think. This is a fact.
This is kinda tragic, because as far as in my country goes, I never remember to thinking like that. I didn't even see people think black or white like we think Germans, much Englishman, Italian, and Nords, like the black and white thing is result of American situation, because in America they were isolated from major countries. Like America was always kind of the strongest around, so they didn't really have competitors, but they had two populations of black and white, but also marginal population of Native Americans. So kinda this colored the vision of some people and created this idea of looking at people in terms of race, because like the people in America were like culturally very similar to each other, and black people of course have their own culture, their own music and other stuff. Of course there are differences in America, I don't say that, but there were like two identities in America, so that's how they see this, and they project this view on the other places, where like in Europe we have Polish identity, German identity, and other identities, because we live among other people that are stronger than us or in similar strength, and we need to live with them. So and we are not unified at all. We have different languages, different tastes in aesthetics and cuisine. So yeah, like it's generally race. It can matter, because if racism wouldn't exist, but it's not just it isn't that simple. Like people of certain identities cannot coexist with each other. This is just simple. This is simple sad fact of the matter. And I guess this is example of that, which is really tragic.
I find the way that this monument is built is very spectacular. It almost looks like it's somewhat in a pyramid shape, and it also has a feel like a church. It's also very sad. Also, I'm really getting this impression that it's really killing and affecting the people's morale here, the Boers, the white Afrikaners, because even if they get a college degree, it's not going to count. They don't have job opportunities because of how far the DEI movement has gone. Plus, even if they do have a job, they're going to be paying taxes that the black people are not paying, and so they're just really, in a sense, getting eaten alive. And sounds like a lot of them feel like they're
white people in this country are like 7.5%, and they pay all the taxes for all other people. I guess there are exceptions, probably, as not all black people don't work and stuff, but from what I've seen, the situation is really terrible. Like really terrible. I hope they find a way to fix it and make so that they can coexist.
There is not a lot of hope, and a big part of that is because of how this narrative is just being completely shut down, and you're not allowed to talk about it, or else it's treason. So you're 26 too?
I'm 25.
25.
Yes.
What's your name?
Alzon.
Alzon.
Alzon, yes.
Alzon. And so you're saying that this place doesn't receive government funding?
Zero government funding. The thing is, tourism is a big part of the economy, and this place is, well, it's a huge part of the economy for not just Pretoria, but I mean, tourism is a big thing in South Africa. We should think that maybe the government would have interest in giving funds because of the economical impact that it has, the positive economical impact that it has. And it's also history. It's the monument is one of the big monuments in the world. So people come to South Africa, they come to Pretoria to see the monument. Is one of the big things they want to see. So
It's gorgeous.
Thank you.
It's very pretty.
Yes, I also think so. Thank you.
And the view too is spectacular. And it sounds like there's a clash in the narrative. That would be my reason as like why they might not be giving it funding, because it doesn't fit a narrative that would make them look in a very good light based on their history.
The
of
history,
course.
yes.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stories going around that we wrote the history. So we wrote it in a way that we wanted people to interpret it. They don't like the history actually, so they don't want to fund the truth, if I can say that. It's a harsh way to say it, but it is what it is.
To me, it sounds like there's a lot of similarities from what happened, and this was the 1800s, right?
Yes.
And present day.
Yes. So, and because it was black and white back then, there's this whole narrative about the whites taking the blacks' land, and the history here actually proves that narrative wrong, because we traded for the land. If you read the manifest, then clearly it was actually the opposite way around. And I mean, we don't dwell on the past. I mean, we don't dwell on it, and we don't say, okay, but someone has to pay for what happened then. We just moved on. We moved on, we went, we build, we grow. Well, we try. But
I cannot really repay something that happened ages ago, like sins of the father are the... It's not for the humans to judge people for it, like in criminal sense. Of course, what the ancestors did was bad. Some of them, those was probably bad, and it affects the current populations with everything, with stigma and stuff, but I don't feel it's good to punish them for that in this way. It's just terrible.
we're still growing. There's a lot of initiatives nowadays that is also, well, for Afrikaans-speaking people, and we keep on building, even though they want to break it down.
You're saying that the Afrikaners aren't saying, well, we want justice for what happened, but they are.
Yes.
People are.
Yes, well, there's land reform. They want to have land reform without compensation now. That's what they want now. I'm not sure about the specifics and the laws and so, but yeah, so they say that we stole the land and they want the land back. But we don't want that. Like, we don't care what happened in the past. We just say, okay, well, everyone's living here now. We came here, we settled. People from a lot of countries came and settled here, and the land originally was actually, the Bushmen were actually, or the Khoisan, they were actually...
From what I also remember, they made a contract with native people for this land, and the Afrikaners were in many ways very nice to native people. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong.
actually the original tribes that lived in South Africa, and
Yeah.
they are there's very few of them, and they also don't have a foot to stand on now.
So the whole conversation of like who was first is a little bit irrelevant.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
we don't think it actually matters.
Yeah.
We think what matters is now. I mean, you can buy your property and yeah, you can do whatever you want with it. So
They say that South Africa is one of the most unequal countries in the world. What is it like as a white South African?
it's hard. You really struggle to get a job. You really struggle to get a job in South Africa. If you're a white male, I mean, some of the most high qualified people, they don't get jobs. We have the BEE and the BBEE. There's a lot of racial laws in South Africa against white people, not even Afrikaans-speaking people. Yeah, not just the crime. I mean, there's a lot of crime as well, and there's the chanting of "Kill the Boer." They don't. I mean, it's Julius Malema's the person who he's raising all this violence, and yeah, no one does anything about it. But if you go and you can say literally anything to a black person, and they will put you in jail. They will put you in jail. If you call them, I can't say the word because I'll go to jail. You can even act a little bit racist, and if you're a white person, you'll go to jail. Yeah.
Would you consider becoming a refugee?
Not actually, no. Like, even though it's hard in South Africa, the system doesn't work, the education doesn't work, the roads it doesn't look good. There's potholes.
Haven't improved anything?
No, it gets worse. There's no electricity. You have load shedding. Now they want to put taxes on solar systems, which I heard.
I'm a minister in the Lichtenburg Klipkerk where the Lorraine Swats attacked the English in 1900. So we come out of Lichtenburg now. You know what?
Yeah.
No, somebody's got to stand up now. This is just too much.
Yeah, I agree.
You know?
True. But we also have to stand up ourselves.
Yeah, no, for
We
sure.
gotta get some backbone back.
You must come to Lichtenburg and you will see how we stand up.
Ah, wow.
Yeah, you must see. We stand up. We stand strong. Every month or so, the EFF right on the horse.
It's insane.
If the Afrikaans, if the Lorraine. This is the world we live in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And then you gotta clean it all up.
Yeah.
And
So Trump is not misled.
at all.
He's speaking the truth about South Africa. They can deny it as much as they want to deny it. But if you really, and I'm not political, I'm a Christian leader. But if you really look at the facts, I'm a committed Christian.
Yes.
Covered under the blood of Christ.
Amen.
But I'm come out of Afrikaner time now. So I'm
That
not.
makes us racist.
Yeah, I'm not a racist.
But apparently we are.
No. I came out of Kobere, Port Elizabeth, and I had a congregation 9 o'clock in Afrikaans and 11 o'clock with many nationalities. So I'm not a racist.
No, we're not.
But what's happening here is worse than apartheid. It's a
Much
disgrace. Really, it's a disgrace. It's worse to destroy your own people, like the government is doing. That's what apartheid did.
Yeah, they're definitely decimating us on
Yeah,
all levels.
at all levels.
Yeah.
So now we are very proud of the President Trump and what he's doing.
You were saying that they're going to tax solar panels?
Yeah, so there have been this stuff that I've heard. They wanted to put taxes on solar panels, and there's a lot of people that get solar panels because the electricity system isn't working properly. There's not enough electricity for all the South Africans. We get load shedding. There's even load shedding that there's power outages for 12 hours a day, as in some areas. And people get solar panels because your business has to go on. You can't do business without electricity in South Africa. You have to have Wi-Fi and power, and so business must go on. So people, they're making plans for alternative electricity. And then, there's also generators. You have generators, but the fuel prices keeps on.
Like, I'm from Eastern Europe. As you probably can guess from my accent, I have total separation from this. We didn't have any history of these people. I have like didn't even know that they existed. So it's not like I think about them that they have bad because I have some sort of loyalty to them. The thing is that what they describe is just awful, like just awful, no matter where, how you look at it, it's just awful. Like, for me, for my sensibility, it just sounds awful. If it's true, because nowadays you just don't know. I guess I can somewhat think it's more probable to be true because of how their government acts on the global stuff, but I don't want to get political really. I'm okay with covering like tragedies by government and this stuff, but I don't want do political drama. Like, I just want to react. I just want to react to absurdities in politics.
Going up, so that's another problem. And yeah, they wanted to put, that's what I've heard is they, speaking of putting taxes on solar panels, because if you have solar panels you don't pay Eskom anymore.
Okay.
So yeah.
So it sounds like it's just getting kind of worse.
It is getting worse,
Yeah.
Definitely, yes.
Now, I was wondering about morale, and because you were saying if you go to college, you're not going to be able to find a job, even if you're highly qualified.
Yeah.
How does that affect a person's drive to study or to, you know?
It's discouraging. It really is discouraging. I mean, there's one of my friends, he wanted to apply for veterinarian. Yes, veterinarian. And they don't take white males. It's impossible to come in as a white male. It's impossible. They barely even take males, but
petty.
even less white people. A white male will not, his application won't go through.
What kind of laws are there
for
to
government.
non-discriminatory against white people? Is there anything to protect white people's... I mean, because they talk about inclusion, but it sounds like white people are being excluded.
There's no laws that is
Shouldn't be
protecting
political.
just white people. No, there's no laws just for white people. There's only laws for, they talk about people of color, like the BEE laws. It is you have to have a quota in your business of, you have to have this amount of people of color in your business. So that is the BEE law. There's been robberies at our house. I've been attacked while I was driving. A guy came with a knife and I had to give him my phone. That happens all the time. I know everyone that I know has been robbed in some way in South Africa. And yeah, but I personally don't know about anyone who has been killed. Mm-hmm. Well, I do actually. I don't know the person well, but I do know about someone who's been shot while he was driving. He had to pull over because he had a flat tire and he got shot. Like I said, it wasn't...
Like, this isn't race issue. It's government that just isn't fair. Like, this isn't just this isn't fair in any way. Like, I just can't. It's just depressing.
Friends of ours, but we knew the guy. He had 3 daughters and a wife, and they shot him. They didn't take the bakkie. They didn't even take his phone. They just shot him, and he died. So there are a lot of laws against white people, but everyone is suffering. There's a lot of poverty in South Africa. The townships, that is mostly black. It is a black lower class. There's a lot of crime in there. People get killed every day because of the poverty. Everyone is suffering. So the whole country, actually, the only people that is not suffering is the government, the people in government. I don't even want to drive there anymore. They mugged me just when I was on my way here. Not today, but they mugged me on my way here. You can't drive with your windows open.
So how are we going to build a nation if we're not having enough births?
After our time at the monument, we drove to a white farmer's land who has taken it upon himself to employ, feed, house, and care for other struggling Afrikaners.
Mostly unemployed people, but he's also got a tar fixing company.
I'm going to do a cultural school here, not on the syllabus of the government. They have a printing works, everything, so we get all the supplies and the books from them, and that's the syllabus we use. But I had to provide everything because the people, mostly the people here at my place, it's 80% of the people have no income, not even a pension income. People with a pension, they pay a little bit towards the accommodation and meals, but those people got nothing. So they can't pay for schooling, they can't pay for the books, they can't pay for the teachers. I paid everything out of my own pocket. Even the homeschooling syllabus, we cannot afford it. It's too expensive. In the western side of Pretoria, it's the poorer side of Pretoria.
Yeah.
Every corner there was a Nigerian selling drugs, and there was a total morality fall of all people there. So we decided to bring the people out of that situation to a place where we can sort of control the environment. Because this whole thing has a spiritual undertone. I started this because I got a message and I got a instruction from our Father to do that. I can't get anybody into heaven for him. Everybody has to do it himself. But I can create an environment that he can live where there's no drugs, there's no swearing, there's no people running around and sleeping with other one's wives and stuff like that. That I can control. And then the people can get the spiritual food that they need. Again, I can't force them. It's a free will. Everything according to us. We don't believe in churches. I don't agree with any church. We believe the church is in your heart. That is the church that Jesus came and founded on earth. And the Heart's Church, people are there to help the ones who have lesser than us. If you do not grab the hand of Jesus Christ, you will not come free from drugs.
Yeah, amen.
And if you do grab his hand and you're serious, I saw terrible drug addicts. The one specific person was a transvestite. He was a male prostitute. And he came free from drugs within 2 weeks. And it's one of the worst ones, was heroin. And as he said to me, he said, I can't sleep. It's the worst pain that is now happening in my body because I don't use it anymore. And that guy slept like a baby. Because my big problem on this farm is when I opened this farm, I always say Satan opened the bottle store right at my gate. So that is much easier now to get booze, and that is our problem. They supply supermarkets with frozen vegetables, so we get all the waste. And that is why we are farming with the bush pigs, because a bush pig can convert vegetable matter into meat. In the end of the day, that is what my calling was to get people to come to get them into heaven. So we especially are very helpful towards the children. There's about 120 children here in school-going age and preschool. But on the other side, one man went there and he spoke to the guys. There's a lot of blacks at the bottle store there. And they were all robbing this whole area. It's every night we're on a group, it's robbing and whatever. Mm-hmm. And that he asked the guys there, why don't you rob the people on this side? I mean, this farm. He said to him, no, boss. On those people's posts on their fence, there is big guys with white clothes. That's what he said. I didn't say that. It's a black guy who said it.
There is a spiritual element to these attacks.
All farm attacks is a spiritual element. The Sangoma blesses the AK-47s. Mm-hmm. It blesses the cars. It slaughters a goat or a chicken, depending on the guys, and the blood is sprinkled on it. Yes. I had a lot of contacts when I was in jail. I wasn't in jail. I was in jail working as a spiritual consultant. And I met a lot of the black guys that they said they do that before they go. Yeah. So I counter that spiritually. It's not the flesh, it's the spirit that they do this toy in. It's the Ubuntu spirit that we must attack. That is why we won't go. I believe I'm safe when I have Christ in me. That's my safety.
Maybe the youngsters that's here that has got a family, they can go and start anew now.
We are, I won't say proud people, but we are proud of our heritage, and this is where roots are lying for 400 years. So, no, you will never get me involved in those programs. But I'll help anybody to go and get a job there. Not the farmers so much. The farmers are the problem, because I tried numerous times to get white people onto their farms and change the black labor to white. Mm-hmm. But we have about 800,000 white people that are at the moment has got no work.
I guess the one thing that sounded like it could be confused is that you said that your farm is protected and that it's not being attacked, and some people might hear that and be like, oh, well, Donald Trump is lying about the attacks on farmers. But it sounds like what you were saying is that you have done a service or prayer that protected your land, but the farm attacks are real, is guess what I'm asking.
Farm attacks are real. A lot of attacks, I'm not saying it's people that deserve it. A lot of attacks are good people, good God-fearing people. I don't know if they prayed for their place and whatever happened. I just know that we have a system and we are protected under that system. But the farm attacks are still, my own father nearly died under a farm attack. He was stabbed 35 times and left for dead. But he was a strong guy. He was in his late 70s and he survived it. So we are all, in our families, there's no one that doesn't know somebody that's been attacked in a farm attack.
20th of January 2020, 4 o'clock in the morning. We lived in a split level house, so we had a gate from the living area to the bedroom area. We thought we were safe, but it was January, it was hot, so we left the window of the bedroom open. They came with a ladder, 4 o'clock in the morning. When I woke up, I was sitting on the side of the bed, holding my head, blood streaming down my face. Was later taken to hospital with 25 stitches in my head. If you want to feel it.
Oh yeah, wow.
I was bleeding like a pig. That morning when I came back from hospital, my wife said, we're leaving today.
On the right we have these walk-in fridges. I have 7 of them, fridges and freezers.
So how big is this farm?
And I would be reacting the same if this was happening to other people. Like, this is horrible. Nobody should fear for their life in their own country. The country serves the people. It, or at least, should protect them from other people. So the people can serve the government and prolong it. It's just it's horrible. Like, you can name it whatever you want. It won't change the fact what I feel about all of this.
33 hectares. On the right hand side is our bush pigs.
These are bush pigs.
We then drove around this massive farm where many Afrikaners live and work and stay productive during the days. And then a siren was going off because it was 4 o'clock, and that meant that it was time for a meal.
Supper.
I read online that 400,000 white people in South Africa live in settlements.
Kan ons nou dankie sê asseblief mense? Yeshua, dankie weer eens vir al die barmhartigheid, liefde, seëninge Vader, vir dit wat ons so mildelik elke dag uit die hand ontvang. Seën asseblief vir ons die voedsel in ons liggame, seën die mense wat dit aan ons geskenk het. Ons nooi uit om die ete saam met ons te geniet. Dankie Yeshua. Amen. Amen.
This reminds me of times. Sorry, I needed to do something in house. I will play it again.
Wat trekt dan hier die knop? Wat trekt dan hier die knop? Waar staan de voeten?
What's your name?
Die knoppie.
Do you speak English?
Wat is die dan?
This is the camera.
Nou zien?
Yeah.
Zet dan hem aan. Wat dan hier zet dan hem aan?
Do you like Spider-Man?
Yes.
Can you show me like a psh?
Dan zet dan hier die camera aan.
Yeah, this one's not on. It's off.
Kan ik zeggen, put aan de voeten weer van Tanny.
What do you and your brother like to do for fun?
I like to play rugby.
What, rugby? Oh, that's cool. How many brothers or sisters do you have?
I have 2 sisters and 2 girls.
It was pretty shocking to see this mom and her kids and other children running around. Also, the people in this line look very motivated and they look willing and able to work, and it's very sad that they're not given the opportunities in their country. Makes me kind of feel like privilege isn't just about being white.
Yes, yes. No, definitely.
Make sure you are subscribed. See you next time. Bye.
Again, that was it. I hope the life will become better for these people. If you want me to react to some other political stuff, tell me in video description. But I will probably react only to the ones that aren't too much like petty drama and difference will be if this petty drama or stupid thing will be funny. I don't really like hearing two people complain about somebody character. I'm more about ideas and reality, like people, situation, suffering, how they deal with it. Of course, I'm not like hiding my political views that much, though I will try to be as respectful as I can be. But yeah, so that was it, and goodbye, and remember, if you shine, darkness fades. Bye.